Hello everyone. I hope all of you are doing really well. I would like to congratulate each one of you for starting your new journey with this course. Okay, so first of all, let me give you a brief introduction about myself. My name is Asta Chatwal. I have done my graduation and post graduation from Delhi University. I am having 5 years of experience as an assistant professor. I am also pursuing PhD. So for this semester, I am going to teach you event risk management. I hope you are going to love this subject. Like any other subject which contains a lot of theory, a lot of financial questions, maths, but sometimes it gets boring. But event risk management is related to our daily life, the uncertainties of our life. So we all have to work on this. So to plan an event, we must ensure to study event risk management. So in this semester, in this subject, we are going to learn about how to manage an event. Starting an event is comparatively very easy than actually implying the event if any risk happens. Like for example, I am planning a wedding. Due to the weather conditions, rainfall come. I have a marriage in open ground. What will happen to the marriage? It will get spoiled. So, how to save from that scenario? We are going to study in that particular subject, that is event risk management. Okay, so let us discuss what we are going to discuss in this particular subject. So, we have basically 5 units for this. First, that is basic introduction to the risk management. The critical elements of risk management. What are the elements? Is there any contemporary method which were used earlier, and how to minimize the risk for the events? Mainly overview to risk management, a unit that will help us to give a introduction. Then unit 2, it will contain all the types of risk. It can be legal, physical, financial, moral risk, etc. Then what are the objectives of risk management? How to make a program, how to manage the risk, key elements to a risk management program. We all are going to discuss this in unit 2. Then in unit 3, we are going to study the risk management policy statements and its objectives, risk identification, assessment, how to make event planning, what risk we can face. So all of this we are going to study in unit 3. Then next, what are the benefits? Why are we practicing the risk management? What is the scope of application for this? How can we identify the risk? What is actually the risk is? What can be the consequences of that risk? Is the risk acceptable or unacceptable? We are going to learn this in unit 4. Then in unit 5, we are going to study about the treatment of the particular risk, how to reduce the risk, how to avoid it, can we retain it, and in the last we are going to study about the safety audits. What is audit? The benefits of an audit. So this is the basic overview what we are going to study in this particular subject. Next, let us start with the introduction. Natural disasters, political unrest, health scares, or any unimaginable act. This can happen at any time, anywhere in the world. Planners must be prepared how to solve this if any uncertainty happens. Planners have to deal with these disruptions for years. But like when they are organizing an event, there is a lot of things that are going on the stake. We have to immediately work on that. Whenever we are hosting an event, we need to look We need to see the event we are attending. We need to work on it. We have to see if any situation comes that we need to cancel the event, or we need to postpone that particular event, or nowadays because of the technology, are we able to shift that event to a virtual event? Whenever we are planning a lot of people, a gathering of lot of people, risk comes. Size of crowd, size and nature of the event site, what is the time of the day, what kind of event it is, what is the nature of event, consumables, the food, water, beverages, are they going to hamper any way to the audience? What is the age of the crowd? Usually, if there is a lot of adult people, mature people, the position where anything bad happens comparatively get less. Miss chances of miss happening get very less if we have mature people around us. But if we have an event of youngsters, the chances of mishappenings will surely increase. So, what is the age of the crowd? Then size, how big the crowd is, or what is the nature of the event, what where event is actually happening. Like due to the place, risk can also increase. Like in open areas, the risk can also increase. In like close surroundings, the risk of fire will be there. So there are different kinds of risk associated with the site of the event. Then weather conditions, like we have discussed in an example just right now, is there any rainy season? So we are planning an event outside and suddenly the rain comes. If we have a wedding function at the banquet, we don't care is it raining much or not. But if we have marriage at outside at the tent place, then obviously we have the fear. If the rain comes, all our plannings get waste. Then again, the location of the event. So all these factors affect us. So we have to depend on these circumstances. We have to assume the risk associated with all the factors, and we have to be prepared with that. Next, event risk analysis and management were always important consideration while protection of the public. As an event professional, it is very important that you understand that it is less expensive to manage a risk prior to the event than to deal with the crisis that occurred after event gets started. Like if we know that something bad can happen, we must try to secure it before the event gets started, because the cost that we have to bear before the event gets started is comparatively less than the cost we had to bear once it get out of our hands. So note also that in the world of events and meetings, safety and security issues often merge, but we have to look for this. We cannot have a same solution for every situation. We have to act according to the situations. There is no one equation that fits all. Like we cannot have a common general solution. Solution depends when the problem arises or when we are thinking what this can be associated. So, yeah, we have to be very careful. We have to deal with the risk very carefully. And we have to think of the scenarios that can come so that we will be mentally prepared before it comes. And like we have to be, like, if we are trying to plan an event, we have to be on our toes. We have to be like mentally present in every way. Like we have to think of every uncertainty that can happen, any situation that might arise, and we have to think what we can do in that particular situation. So that's why managing an event is not an easy task. It can be easy, but when the we are talking about the risk that associates with the business, then it is definitely not everyone's cup of tea. We have to work for it very hard. Then, three different stages of event crisis management. Like, first is adapt. Whenever there is a risk, whenever there is an event, what we have to do, we have to adapt it. Like, we cannot address the current situation. We have to think what we can do. Can we cancel the event? Can we postpone it? Can we take it to the like virtual program? If I am thinking to have a Olympic Games, if I am thinking to plan a cricket match, can I do it virtually? No, it is not possible. So I have to think for other options. But if I am planning to have a lecture, a seminar, we can nowadays have a webinar for that also. So we can have a webinar for that particular reason. So we have to see what are the current situation. We have to adapt them. We have to see what are the possible situations. How can we take the actions, immediate actions? We have to see that. Then second is evolve. How to recover? What are the areas where I need to work on? How can I make my ongoing events better? Then it is evolve. We have already adapted. We need to make certain changes. Then we have to evolve it. We have to make a recovery. And then accelerate. We have to go on a pitch. We have to like understand, and we have to work for the greater future. First is adapt. We have adapted that sometimes situations can come. Then evolve, in that we are on the recovery phase. We are programming, and we are like adapting the changes, and we are hoping that we are not hoping, but like we are considering them that they will surely become a part of our future events. And once we are like okay with that, we have learned the lessons, then we have to incorporate those learnings to accelerate the programs for even greater success in the future. Okay, so this was the three. Okay, so that was it for today's first introduction chapter, introduction round for the syllabus. So from next class we are going to discuss some important topics. Thank you for staying here. Have a good day.